Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here with Kai Kamaka. He will be fighting Diego Brandao for the Tuff-N-Uff Featherweight title on October 25th in Las Vegas, Nevada. How's it going today?
Going good, nice and early over here in Vegas. Starting to get chilly. Um, Probably not as cold as where you're at though, but
Yeah, dude, it's definitely getting cold over here. I'm surprised that you were down to do this. It's 8 a.m. over by you, so it's nice and early.
yeah, I mean, I gotta get up early for training too. So
Yeah, nice. Well, the first thing I wanted to ask you about, because I was looking on your Instagram and I'm like, holy shit, this guy, how do you fight at featherweight? Because you look pretty big.
I mean, it's a process. Right now, I'm marching my way down to 45. So um, yeah, I mean, pretty athletic build. Not too not I wouldn't say like big, but as far as like I carry a lot of muscle. So
Yeah, yeah. What do you get up to like outside of camp?
I don't get too big actually. I get like to I mean I could get to like 170, 172, but I don't really get crazy big. My weight just kind of stays like 166,
Oh, okay.
67, yeah. So not too crazy like as far as out of camp, but
Yeah, that's actually not as big as I was expecting, to be honest.
no. It like I can get bigger, but it's just I kind of hover right around there. Like if I'm always training,
Yeah, and are you usually always in the gym outside of camp?
I'm always in the yeah. Just because like I mean we're trying to get to my next contract, so you gotta kind of be staying in the gym at gotta stay ready.
Yeah, for sure. So you've been extremely active this year. I mean, this is going to be your third fight since April. So how has life been? I mean, outside the cage, like kind of keeping that balance of, you're in fight camp, but still having life outside of the sport.
There right now there's no balance. Me and my family we were like we've been trying to we could because we've been trying to stay. Not that we've been Not that we wanted to have it like this schedule. It's just guys kept pulling out. So like I had one after one of the fights. I think after the June fight, they asked me to headline July 17th because somebody fell off. So I was like, it can only help. My case with getting back to the UFC or getting back to my next major contract. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Then I take the fight, then the guy pulls out. Okay, so they try to get me on August 23rd back here in Vegas. The next guy pulls out the week of the fight, and then they try to get me on in September in San Diego again. The guy pulls out again, another guy pulls out. So it's like it wasn't part of like our plan, but it just kind of worked out that way. We stayed busy, and then now we got Diego.
Yeah. And one thing I did want to say, so I started working here in June, and you're constantly posting, wearing our gear, obviously. So I was kind of like waiting for the time where we would get to do like an interview with you,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was you were like constantly. I mean, you kind of just explained it with all the pullouts and kind of just crazy scenarios, but you were always like taking these short notice fights, kind of. I
Hmm.
mean, this one just got announced. I mean, 2 weeks before the fight, I
Yeah,
think, right?
three,
Yeah. So
three.
it's like
I think right
three
around
weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, you're constantly ready to go, obviously, and like what is the reasoning behind you being always ready to take these short notice fights, and why are you okay with constantly doing that?
Well, I'm because they're trying to find me other people. Um, so like they're kind of like so the fight probably is like some of them seem short notice, but like I'm just kind of waiting around. Like they're sending me a bunch of guys. Okay, this guy's in. Then, but I'm still getting ready. Like, and then closer it gets, new opponents arise, and then then they fall off. So it's like
Yeah,
it's kind of short. It's not really short notice in preparation. It's just kind of like short notice in the opponent.
yeah. So you're always preparing for the day, but the opponent constantly changes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
And
okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense.
it's kind of hard though because like it's hard to prepare for something without like a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just like in general, like like when you're trying to stay ready, you don't even know your opponent. So it's like it's kind of hard because, but in Vegas, you have a lot of there's a lot of opportunities, and you don't know. Like somebody might drop out in the UFC,
Oh yeah,
you might slip in. So it's like you kind of have that on your side when you live in Vegas.
yeah. And I was going to ask. So you live in Vegas full time,
Yeah,
and you train at Extreme
it's
Couture full
Jupiter.
time.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Uh, so I saw a clip. I think this was the lead up to your last Tuff-N-Uff fight, and so you said you've been with your wife now for 16 years,
Hmm.
and your kids are always around. You're bringing them in the gym with you,
Hmm.
and I just wanted to see like how has that impacted your camps? Like having a supportive wife like that and having your kids constantly around you in these camps.
I think the more you do it, the more you realize like every day goes on, because they get older. So our daily schedule is like we we usually wake up at 6 a.m. They get a workout in, and we start like a few of their their homeschool lessons for like a few hours before we head to the gym at 10 o'clock. We go to the gym for my first session, one or two sessions. We come back by like 1 o'clock, and then they go right back into school again. And then I might work out at home, or I might go back to my second training. And it's rough because like we're not really resting, like decompressing. But I feel like I'm showing them the value of like if you want to work hard at something, if you want something, you got to work hard for it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like they're seeing what it takes for me to achieve my dreams every day. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a different lifestyle, but it helps me because they understand what I'm actually doing. They understand like how much of it I'm actually doing to get in the ring, So,
yeah,
and then they see the stuff on the weekend, so they might not maybe verbalize it yet, but they're gonna like they'll see that oh, daddy trains hard or he's always training, stuff like that.
yeah. And I think it's cool because I mean they might not realize it, but uh, it is pretty cool. I feel like to be able to grow up and like be around your dad training for as a
Yeah,
professional fighter. I mean, in the gym,
for
just being able to see that. I mean, it's
yeah, and
obviously
then
the norm for them, but I
mhm.
mean, it's pretty cool to grow up seeing that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you see it a lot, like maybe in boxing, right? When you got these like the Canelos or Miguel Cottos, or like when you kind of would see like the 24/7 HBO boxing where they kind of grew up like the kids kind of grew up like that, and then
Yeah,
um, so yeah, it's hopefully it's an advantage in some way. Like they don't gotta fight, but at least like hey, if they want to do something, like it kind of shows like how much time they gotta put into it.
yeah, for sure. So, how has this camp specifically been going? I mean, really compared to the last two Tough Enough camps you've had.
Well, the first Tuff-N-Uff came on really short notice at like 10 days. Next one came like pretty good short notice because they wanted. I mean, pretty good notice because they wanted to kind of like push the Hawaii like a Hawaii card, and then so they had Diego fight Kane in Kauai High. Um, but they were unsure if I was gonna get signed to the UFC or not, so like they didn't really offer me the title yet. Um,
Yeah,
and then so yeah, so I got that fight like probably like 4 to 5 weeks out, and then this fight came. I kind of was thinking about like I was kind of aware of Diego, and I never really think of I was gonna fight him just because like the trajectory of our careers. Like I kind of like I'm kind of hitting like a new hitting a stride in my career where it's like where I'm actually like I'm hitting my prime, and he's kind of been on the down. So I never really think about it as a fight, but he had two good wins, two solid wins and two prospects. So I mean, you can't really count him out because now he has a belt, or he's had the belt in Tuff-N-Uff, and I feel like this fight kind of solidifies like okay, how credible is your title run, and then for me, it kind of helps me just put another name on my record.
I feel like you're obviously your goal sounds like you want to be in the UFC, back in the UFC, I should say, and So what does it mean to you to be able to fight for the Tough-N-Uff Featherweight title? Is it a big
It
deal, or
means
does
a
it just
lot.
feel like a stepping stone?
Nah, I mean, it is a stepping stone to like just other major facets of the sport, right? Like you carrying a major title, belt looks nice. It's in Vegas. I'm headlining at the Palms where many UFC events have taken place. Yeah, you're headlining in Vegas. Those kind of things matter to me. Like it's like I don't really take that lightly, just because it's a big opportunity to headline in Vegas, and then yeah, I don't know. It kind of like puts a cap on like the year, of like the process it's been to get these fights, and then now I get to fight somebody like Diego Brandao who has a name, and yeah, who has a name, and then so it actually means a lot to me because then my kids will see that throughout this year how it's been, and then now I get a chance to get a belt and put it on the shelf for them, and it kind of just shows like just part of the journey.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously Brandao has, I mean, tons of experience. I think he has like over 40, 50 fights, I think, actually. And what do you see in his game that you think you can exploit, or where you think that you're way better in and that you are going to dominate in the fight?
Um, I think I'm just way more efficient. Um, I have way more tactics, I would say, at this point in my career, with way more tactics to win a fight, like to win a fight. Um, Much more, yeah. I just have a much more cleaner skill set. Um, from footwork, range control, all that kind of stuff that matter. Um, so yeah, I think that'll play a big part in the fight.
So you've obviously fought in every major promotion. You fought in UFC, Bellator, PFL. Uh, you're saying the UFC is next. Do you think that that will be next directly after winning this title?
I don't know. I mean, we all can hope, but at the end, like I'll be willing to step in there, step it tough. I'd like to fight a fourth time this year at the end of the year for Tough-N-Uff, to defend the belt. That's
Wow.
what I'd like to call for with taking all these short notice fights, for them. I'd kind of, hey, if I'm still around, I want to defend this belt. So it's like, um, yeah, I know the process on how getting into the UFC can be. So I mean, you only can control what you can control. So if I'm still available, I want to fight again this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, as I said, you fought in every major organization. And you even said earlier, I had this written down, you're 30 years old, which is actually where you see a lot of people kind of entering their primes. Uh, what goals do you have in the sport before you wrap it up as you're kind of entering, the prime years of your career?
Well, one is I wanted to win a world title. I mean, I have one in front of me, that we can kind of that we can put up, kind of add to that. But I want a more major title after this in any organization. I'd like to rewrite my time in the UFC just because it went so fast and it didn't go bad. It just went so fast that I never got to really sink in the time when I was there. Um, and I just want to keep chasing like to be the best like version of myself. And I feel like I'm entering that part to where like I can kind of finally see it. Like you say that when you're saying that for a long time, but I feel like I'm actually getting better like every day.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you want the fans and the critics to take away from this fight about you, your fight style, your whole demeanor in general?
I just want them to see that how resilient I am. That you can still, I heard something the other day, and I feel like it's true. It's like life and fighting is like it's not. It's who can get better the longest. It's like so everybody's process can be different, but who can get better the longest. You know, because if you get better super fast, like you kind of hit like the mountain peak, and then what's next? You know what I mean? But I feel like I the name of the game is who can get better the longest, and I feel like I'm on my way to doing that.
Awesome. So let's get a fight prediction. Let's say camp is perfect, best weight cut of your life. I want to hear a fight prediction, how you get the job done down to a T.
I think I could finish Diego Brandao in the third round. Just because there is five, so the tactics are going to be a little bit different, and then I'm going to be able to see a lot of the things that he's putting out in front of me. But I want to be smart, and I want to start. You know, I want to make him miss, and then eventually, you know, tag him, and then start to put on the pressure.
Let's final message, not only for the fans, but final message to Diego Brandao ahead of your fight, October 25th.
Final message to the fans would be just, you know, just tune in. I feel like I'm actually can show the best version of myself. I've been preparing for a lot of different styles this year, and um, a lot of different process of, you know, being resilient through getting through through the MMA game. But I've still been getting better. I still been putting in the work. And to Diego. Um, You know, I feel like this is my first world title fight against somebody, you know, of his caliber. But I feel like I fought better guys on my record than Diego in many different aspects, whether it's speed, power, wrestling, grappling, boxing. I faced better guys. Um, I just think I'm going to be too fast for him.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you making time up and early for an interview at 8 a.m. It's kind of
No problem.
funny,
I'd
but
rather do it
yeah.
earlier than later because I might forget.
No, yeah, right. Well, thank you and good luck next Saturday, October
Th-
25th.
Thanks, buddy. See you.